Hi, this is Blake.
Hi, this is Cameron. We welcome you to yet another episode of Trust Talks.
Today we're diving into common control frameworks, or CCFs. You're building a house, right? And it needs to withstand hurricanes, earthquakes, and fires.
Right.
You wouldn't build like separate structures for each disaster.
Exactly. You design one super strong house to handle everything.
Right.
That's kind of what a CCF does for your organization, for its security and data protection. It's like a master blueprint.
Yeah.
It helps you meet a bunch of security and compliance standards at once, like ISO 27001 or ISO 27701, without having to start over every time.
Okay, that's a brilliant analogy. So instead of tackling like each compliance requirement separately, a CCF gives you that unified, robust foundation.
Yeah, precisely. It's all about efficiency and avoiding redundant work.
Right.
A CCF helps streamline those audits, the ones everyone dreads.
Oh, yeah.
And in the end, it just makes compliance less of a headache.
That sounds like a dream come true for anyone who's ever dealt with the complexities of compliance.
Yeah, it is. And that's actually where TrustCloud's Common Controls Framework comes in, or TCCCF.
Okay.
TrustCloud has really taken this concept and kind of elevated it to the next level.
Now we're talking. So tell me more about how TrustCloud's approach is different.
Well, TCCCF is really comprehensive. It has over 200 controls based on best practices from leading organizations, like NIST, ISO, SOC, and HRS.
Hold on. For those of us who aren't security experts, could you break down what some of those acronyms mean?
Sure. NIST, for example, they set cybersecurity standards for the U.S. government.
Okay.
By incorporating NIST's best practices into TCCCF, you're essentially adopting the same rigorous approach they use to protect sensitive government data.
That makes sense. So TCCCF is bringing that high level of security to like all kinds of organizations.
Yeah. Exactly. And it covers a huge range of standards. Like we're talking SOC2, ICPA, ISO 27001, GDPR, CCPA, you name it, TCCCF probably has you covered.
Wow, that's impressive. But how does TCCCF actually work in practice? Like, how does it help organizations meet all these different requirements?
It's all about intelligent mapping.
Yeah.
So TCCCF identifies those core security and privacy controls that apply across the board, regardless of the specific standard.
Okay.
Then it meticulously maps those controls to the unique requirements of each standard. So you know exactly what you need to do to achieve compliance across the board.
So it's like having a personalized roadmap for each standard, but all built from a shared foundation of strong security practices.
You got it. But here's where TrustCloud's framework gets even more interesting. It's customizable.
Oh.
TCCCF recognizes that every organization is different, so it allows you to tailor the framework to your specific needs and risk profile.
That's a game changer. It means you're not just like shoehorning your organization into a rigid framework. You're adapting it, to fit your unique circumstances.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder, when it comes to compliance.
This is all incredibly insightful, but I have to ask, what if, you're not even sure where to begin with security and compliance? Can TCCCF still be helpful?
Absolutely. It can be a fantastic starting point.
All right.
TCCCF helps you establish a baseline of security and privacy controls and provides clear guidance on how to actually meet those controls.
Okay.
Think of it like having an expert guide, holding your hand through the whole process.
It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. So we've covered what common control frameworks are, and we've kind of gotten a glimpse into how TrustCloud is enhancing the concept with their TCCCS. But let's get real for a moment. Beyond just checking boxes for compliance, what are the tangible benefits for organizations using a CCF like TCCCF?
That's where things get really exciting because TCCCF is about so much more than just ticking off requirements. It's about building a genuinely robust security and privacy posture for your organization.
Okay, so let's dive into those benefits. Give us some specific, relatable examples of how TCCCF can make a real difference for our listeners.
For starters, TCCCF can help you identify and manage risk more effectively, protecting you from cyber threats and, those dreaded data breaches. And let's not forget the cost savings. Streamlining compliance audits can save you a significant amount of time and resources.
That's huge. Imagine being able to confidently tackle audits, demonstrate your commitment to security, and save money along the way. Sounds like a win-win-win scenario. for any organization.
It absolutely is. And here's another key point. TCCCF gets updated regularly, at least quarterly, so you're always on top of the latest changes and best practices.
Yep.
It's like having a built-in compliance advisor constantly looking out for you.
That peace of mind alone is invaluable in today's rapidly changing security landscape.
Couldn't agree more. And remember, what we're talking about here applies to organizations of all sizes,
Okay.
but it's especially crucial for those dealing with multiple compliance requirements.
So if you're juggling like various standards and regulations, TCCCF can be a real game changer.
Absolutely. It provides that unified approach, that single source of truth that can streamline your compliance efforts and enhance your overall security posture.
Okay.
Imagine being able to tackle those audits head on, demonstrate your commitment to security, and do it all while saving time and resources.
That sounds like a dream scenario for any organization,
Yeah.
especially in today's complex regulatory environment.
It's not a dream, it's a reality with TCCCF. And here's something else to consider. You know how we talked about CCFs being standardized frameworks built on best practices? Well, TCCCF takes things a notch higher.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah.
What makes TCCCF stand out from the crowd?
Well, it goes beyond just meeting basic requirements. TCCCF integrates best practices from multiple leading frameworks like NIST, ISO, SOSE, and HITrust. It's like a greatest hits compilation of security controls, all in one place.
Okay.
And that's what makes TrustCloud's approach so unique.
That sounds like a powerhouse of a framework. It's not just about compliance, it's about building a truly secure and resilient organization from the ground up.
Exactly. TCCCF helps organizations shift from a reactive approach to compliance to a proactive one.
Okay.
You're not just scrambling to meet requirements, you're building a culture of security and privacy. It's a game changer.
So what does all this mean for our listeners? Why should they care about CCFs and specifically about TCCCFs?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about trust.
Okay.
In today's digital world, trust is everything.
Yeah.
Customers, partners, investors, they all want to know that their data is safe with you. A CCF like TCCCF can help you demonstrate that commitment to security, build that trust, and ultimately gain a competitive advantage.
Trust, security, efficiency, and even cost savings. Sounds like a winning combination to me.
It certainly is. And remember, TCCCF is continuously evolving. TrustCloud is constantly updating it to reflect the latest industry standards and best practices. So you're not just adopting a static framework, you're joining a community of security-conscious organizations committed to continuous improvement.
That's a fantastic point. It's not a one-and-done deal. It's an ongoing journey of strengthening your security posture and building trust. And TrustCloud is right there with you every step of the way.
Precisely. So even if you're not using TCCCF specifically, the concept of a unified common control framework can be incredibly valuable. It's a powerful tool for any organization looking to streamline compliance, enhance security, and build trust in today's digital landscape.
You've painted a compelling picture of the benefits of CCFs, especially TrustCloud's TCCCF. But I'm sure some of our listeners are thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but where do I even begin with implementing a CCF?
Yeah.
It can feel overwhelming.
Absolutely. It's a common concern. But remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Start by assessing your current security posture. What controls do you already have in place? How do they align with the CCF you're considering?
So it's about taking inventory of your existing security measures and figuring out where the gaps are.
Exactly. Once you have a clear understanding of your strengths and weaknesses, you can prioritize which controls to implement first. It's a journey, not a sprint.
Right. That's reassuring. It's about, making progress step by step, not trying to boil the ocean.
Precisely. And here's a pro tip. Leverage the resources that are, readily available. Many organizations, including TrustCloud, offer like templates, guides, and even communities where you can connect with other security professionals and learn from their experiences.
It's like having a support system and a knowledge base at your fingertips.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And learn from others who have, been down this path before. And remember, technology can be a powerful ally in this process.
You're referring to like tools that can help automate some of the complexities of implementing a CCF, right?
Absolutely. Tools like TrustCloud's platform can automate a lot of tasks associated with CCF implementation, freeing up your time and resources, so you can focus on the strategic side of security.
That sounds incredibly helpful. Can you give our listeners a little more insight into what TrustCloud's platform offers?
Sure. TrustCloud's platform is specifically designed to help organizations implement and manage their CCFs, including TCCCF.
Okay.
They have pre-built control libraries, automated risk assessments, and even evidence collection workflows.
Wow. So they've really thought of everything to make this process as smooth as possible.
They really have, but it goes beyond just the platform itself.
Good.
TrustCloud also has an extensive knowledge base with articles, guides, templates, and even a glossary to help you decipher all that, security jargon.
Right.
Plus, they have a fantastic community forum where you can connect with other users, share tips, and ask questions.
It's like having a whole ecosystem of support built right in. That's pretty amazing.
It is. And the best part is that TrustCloud is constantly adding new resources and updating existing ones. To keep pace with the ever-changing world of security and compliance, it's a dynamic and supportive environment to be a part of.
So whether you're like just starting your CCF journey or you're, a seasoned pro, TrustCloud has something to offer.
Absolutely. They're committed to making security and compliance accessible and achievable for organizations of all sizes.
That's fantastic. Now, I'm curious, for our listeners who are already familiar with the basics of CCFs, what are some of the more advanced things they might, consider in implementing one?
Great question. Once you have the foundational elements in place, you can start thinking about tailoring your CCF to your organization's specific industry and regulatory landscape.
So taking that core framework and then customizing it to fit like a glove based on your unique needs and the specific regulations you need to meet.
Exactly. It's about being strategic and intentional with your CCF implementation. Another key consideration is how you'll integrate your CCF with other business processes.
Can you give an example of what you mean by that?
Sure. Let's say you're developing software. How will you incorporate security controls into your software development lifecycle? Or how will you ensure that your vendors are also meeting your security standards? These are, crucial questions to address.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about like weaving security and compliance into the fabric of your organization, not treating it as a separate siloed function.
Precisely. Security is everyone's responsibility, not just the IT departments. And as you mature in your CCF implementation, you can start thinking about continuous monitoring and improvement.
Yes, the never-ending journey of security and compliance.
Exactly. You need to regularly assess your controls, identify emerging threats, and adapt your CCF accordingly. The threat landscape is always changing, so you can't afford to be complacent.
So it's about staying vigilant, informed, and adaptable.
Absolutely. And remember, the goal is not just to meet compliance requirements, but to build a truly secure and resilient organization that can withstand, whatever challenges come its way.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's about moving beyond compliance as a checkbox and embracing it as a strategic advantage, a way to build trust and differentiate yourself in the marketplace.
Exactly. When you prioritize security and compliance, you're not just protecting your data, you're protecting your reputation, your customers, and your future. It's an investment that pays dividends in the long run.
Well said. So for our listeners who are ready to take the plunge and start implementing a CCF, what's one piece of advice you would leave them with?
Don't go it alone. There are so many resources available to help you on this journey, from organizations like TrustCloud to online communities and industry experts. Reach out, ask questions, and leverage those resources. Remember, security and compliance are a team sport.
That's excellent advice. Collaboration is key, especially in the complex world of security and compliance.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, let's take a moment to recap the key takeaways. For our listeners, we've covered a lot of ground today.
Indeed, we have. We started by exploring the concept of common control frameworks, or CCFs, and how they can help organizations streamline compliance and enhance security.
We learned that a CCF acts like a master blueprint, guiding you through the process of meeting multiple security and compliance standards at once.
Right. And we saw how TrustCloud's Common Controls Framework, or TCCCF, is taking that concept to the next level with its comprehensive yet customizable approach.
We highlighted some of the tangible benefits of using a CCF, like improved risk management, cost savings, and enhanced trust. with customers and partners.
Right. We also discuss how TCCCF goes beyond simply meeting, basic requirements by incorporating best practices from leading frameworks and providing a platform for continuous monitoring and improvement.
And we emphasize the importance of leveraging resources like TrustCloud's platform, knowledge base, and community forum to support your CCF journey. But perhaps the most important takeaway is that building trust through robust security is an ongoing process, continuous cycle of assessment, improvement, and adaptation.
It's not about achieving perfect security overnight. It's about taking consistent steps to, strengthen your posture and stay ahead of the curve. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. TrustCloud and a whole community of security-conscious organizations are here to support you every step of the way.
Well, folks, there you have it. Our deep dive into the world of common control frameworks has come to an end. But the journey toward building a secure and trusted organization continues.
We hope this episode has provided you with valuable insights, a fresh perspective, and perhaps even a spark of inspiration to level up your own security game.
And as always, we encourage you to continue exploring, learning, and collaborating with others in the security community.
Now, as we resurface from this deep dive, we want to leave you with a final thought, something to ponder as you navigate the ever-evolving landscape of security and compliance.
Imagine a world where organizations not only meet compliance requirements, but they actually exceed them, setting a new standard for security and trust.
What if, instead of viewing compliance as a burden, we embraced it as an opportunity? A chance to differentiate ourselves, build stronger relationships with our customers, and create a more secure and resilient digital world for everyone.
That's a powerful vision, and one that's within our reach if we work together, learn from each other, and never stop striving for better.
So dive in, explore those resources we mentioned, and let's build that future of trust, one secure step at a time.
Until next time, fellow deep divers, stay curious, stay informed, and stay secure. Yeah, it's inspiring to think about, like shifting our mindset from compliance being a chore to it being a competitive advantage.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the big picture either. Think about the peace of mind that comes from knowing you've taken the right steps, to protect your organization.
Yeah.
And your customers' data.
Oh, yeah. That peace of mind is priceless. It lets you, focus on what matters, grow your business, innovating, and building those lasting relationships.
Exactly. And the beauty of a CCF like TCCCF is that it gives you that solid foundation to build upon.
Right.
You're not always scrambling to catch up. You're proactively managing your security and compliance.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one final thought you'd like to leave our listeners with? Something to really stick with them as they, continue their security journey?
I'd say this. Remember that security and compliance aren't just about technology. They're about people.
Yep.
It's about creating a culture of awareness, responsibility, and continuous improvement.
That's a powerful reminder. We can have the most sophisticated tools and frameworks, but they're only as effective as the people using them.
Exactly. So invest in training your team, foster open communication, and empower everyone to play a role in building a secure and trusted organization.
That's a fantastic takeaway. It's a reminder that security is a team sport.
Yeah.
And we all have a part to play in creating a safer and more resilient digital world.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. Well, folks, there you have it. Our deep dive into the world of common control frameworks has come to an end. We hope you've gained valuable insights and a renewed sense of confidence in tackling your security and compliance challenges.
Remember, you're not alone on this journey. There are resources available, communities to support you, and experts ready to guide you.
So embrace the challenge, leverage those resources, and let's build that future of trust, one secure step at a time.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay secure.
And keep diving deep.